Stop scrolling. This could happen to your family. 3 days after Arjun Sharma's accident, his wife Priya had two things to deal with: a funeral and a phone call she had no idea how to answer. 2 years earlier, Arjun had paid less than 40 rupees a day for a policy he hoped he'd never need, barely the cost of 2 cups of chai. He never once thought that this small, forgettable, everyday amount would one day decide whether his 4-year-old daughter grew up secure or grew up struggling. It was raining the night her phone rang. The screen showed a number she didn't recognize with the words "Insurance Company" attached to it. Her hand shook as she picked it up. What happened in the next 10 minutes would decide whether her daughter's future was secure or gone, along with her husband. This is the story of why one folder, just one ordinary folder, made all the difference. 8 months earlier, Arjun was 32 years old, a marketing manager in Pune. 1 home loan, 1 daughter, Anya, 4 years old, and a wife who trusted him completely with every financial decision in the house. One evening, over chai with his cousin Vikram, the topic came up the way it always did. Vikram couldn't understand why Arjun kept paying 12,000 rupees a year for a term insurance policy that, in his words, gave back nothing. Vikram had an LIC endowment plan instead, one that would return 15 lakh rupees after 20 years, guaranteed. Arjun's answer was simple. His term plan gave his family 1 crore rupees the moment something happened to him. Vikram's plan gave 15 lakhs, only if he survived to collect it. Arjun asked which one was actually protecting a family. Vikram laughed it off, joking that Arjun's premium would simply vanish if nothing happened to him. Arjun smiled and said that if nothing happened to him, he'd be alive to complain about wasting the money, and that was a problem he was more than happy to have. But Arjun wasn't just buying a policy that day. He was building a system around it, something almost nobody else in his circle bothered to do. 2 years before this conversation, when he first applied for the policy, Arjun did something most people quietly skip. He told the complete truth on his application. Every habit, every health detail, even the small, slightly embarrassing ones, like the occasional drink at weddings. Agents had told him that leaving certain things out would lower his premium. Arjun ignored that advice entirely. That night, he told Priya that he'd rather pay 500 rupees more every year than risk the insurer rejecting her claim over something he chose to hide. Most people think buying the policy is the finish line. Arjun treated it as the starting line. One quiet Sunday afternoon, he sat down with a physical folder and his laptop and began building what he privately called the most boring, most important folder in the house. Inside it went the original policy document, his premium payment proof, his PAN and Aadhaar copies, Priya's identity proof since she was the nominee, and, written by hand on the very first page, the insurer's claim helpline number. When Priya asked what it was for, Arjun told her plainly, if anything ever happened to him, she shouldn't call her brother or his office first. She should open this folder and call that number. Priya brushed it off, a little uncomfortable with the conversation. Arjun told her he was searching for these details today, so that she would never have to search for them on the worst day of her life. He didn't stop there. When Anya was born, he updated his nominee details. When Priya switched banks, he updated the account information with the insurer as well. Every change in life got reflected in 2 places: the folder and the insurer's records. He also made sure he wasn't the only one who knew.
He called his elder brother, Rohit, and told him, almost casually, that there was a life insurance policy and the documents were in a folder on the top shelf of the bedroom cupboard. Priya already knew. Now Rohit did too. Arjun understood something that most families only learn the hard way. A policy nobody knows about might as well not exist at all. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday night, the rain blurred the road on his way home. Headlights flashed through the darkness, scattering across the wet asphalt. A truck drifted across the lane, just slightly. Just enough. And in less than 3 seconds, everything Arjun had spent 2 years quietly preparing for was suddenly, irreversibly needed. 3 days later, Priya sat numb in the bedroom, with Rohit beside her. He reminded her gently. The folder, top shelf. Arjun had told him about it. She opened the cupboard and pulled down the folder labelled, in Arjun's handwriting, Important. Priya. Inside, everything was exactly where he said it would be. The policy document, the helpline number, a copy of the nominee form, and a small sticky note that simply read, Don't panic. Just call this number. They will guide you. Because Arjun had disclosed everything honestly 2 years earlier, there was nothing for the insurer to investigate, no contradiction to uncover, no reason to delay. Priya called the number, read out the policy details, and was guided through submitting the claim form, along with the death certificate, her identity proof, and her bank details. There was no missing nominee confusion, no uncertainty about whether the policy even existed, no agent to track down. But the days that followed were not easy. Every unknown number that lit up her phone made her stomach tighten. Every evening, she wondered if some missing signature, some overlooked document, would quietly stall everything and leave her with nothing but paperwork and grief. Rohit kept telling her to trust the process. Priya kept checking her email anyway. Then, on the 26th day, a notification finally landed on her phone. And this time, it wasn't a query. It was a credit confirmation. 1 crore rupees, completely tax-free under Section 10D of the Income Tax Act, sitting in her account. That money could not bring Arjun back, but it meant Anya's school fees were never in question. The home loan was never a crisis, and Priya never had to depend on anyone's mercy to survive the months ahead. A single folder, prepared 2 years in advance, had done what no amount of grief or good intentions could have done on their own. But receiving the money was only half the story. What Priya did next mattered just as much as everything Arjun had done before. For the first 2 months, she didn't touch a single rupee of it. The entire amount sat safely in a liquid fund, earning a little interest, while she simply allowed herself to grieve and think clearly, without financial pressure forcing her hand. Then, slowly, she built a plan. 12 months of expenses went into an untouched emergency fund. The high-interest car loan was cleared immediately, while the low-interest home loan stayed for its tax benefit. The rest was split sensibly, part into fixed deposits and a debt fund generating a steady monthly payout, and a separate, untouchable portion locked away purely for Anya's education, years into the future. When Vikram visited a few weeks later, he mentioned, almost quietly this time, that his uncle's neighbour had also passed away recently, but with no term insurance, only an old LIC policy worth 8 lakh rupees. It had taken that family 14 months just to receive the money, tangled in documentation issues and an outdated nominee who had passed away years earlier. Vikram didn't say it directly, but for the first time, he understood. It had never really been about the returns. It was about what happens to the people left behind, and whether they're left with clarity or chaos. Later that evening, alone on his phone, Vikram quietly searched for term insurance plans of his own. If there's only one thing to take away from this story, let it be this. Buying term insurance is step 1. Disclosing everything honestly is step 2. But step 3, the one almost everyone skips, is making sure your family actually knows the policy exists, knows where the documents are, and knows exactly who to call. Tonight, do 3 simple things. Tell one trusted person where your insurance documents are kept. Update your nominee details if you haven't reviewed them in the last 2 years. And if you don't yet have term insurance, calculate how much your family would genuinely need. Today, not after watching this video and forgetting about it by tomorrow. Because the real value of a 1 crore rupee policy was never really about the crore. It was about the folder that made sure that money actually reached the people who needed it most.